Well, he's no astronaut. In fact, he's never even stepped foot inside a spacecraft. But for nearly 20 years, he's been regarded as a key player in NASA's space program. Tony Hutchinson, a self-taught entrepreneur, has been quietly plugging away behind the scenes, ensuring the lines of communication between Houston and the International Space Station are always kept open. And as Vassal Melandris discovered, he does it all from his backyard, right here in SA.
This is Mission Control Houston. Coming up in about a minute, we'll be joining the conversation taking place between ham radio operators, in this case Tony Hutchinson in South Australia, who will be initiating a call to the International Space Station.
This is VK5 Zulu Alpha India.
We're a long way away from Houston, Texas, aren't we?
Yes, virtually the opposite side of the world.
When Houston has a problem, Tony Hutchinson is listening and ready for action.
Tony, I'll hand it over to you.
Calling NA1SS, NA1SS. This is VK5 Zulu Alpha India, VK5ZAI in Kingston, South Australia. Calling, anyone copy, go?
Every day, Tony checks in to Mission Control from his own communications hub in Kingston in the southeast, built entirely from scratch out of cast-off gizmos.
West of Brisbane, about 55 miles or 90 kilometres west of Brisbane.
But don't let appearances fool you. Tony is one of the elite ARIS group of 9 amateur radio operators entrusted by NASA to come to the rescue if their signal to space goes down.
We had a small emergency on the docking of the Progress supply rocket. They basically rang up and said, can you go on standby? And
that's amazing, isn't it, that NASA's own antennas failed and you were called in to rescue communications?
Yes.
And what started as a hobby quickly became an all-consuming passion.
Are you very busy tonight?
Yeah, look, can I leave that with you?
Yep.
And bring it in to me? I've got
Okay.
a couple of things to do and another school coming on.
All right, hope everything goes all right.
The International Space Station, it's being tracked all around the world, and you can see it on a colour computer in his what looks like his lounge room. I think his wife's been kicked out of the lounge room. Yeah.
Border Watch journalist Chris Oldfield has been tracking the Quiet Achievers movements for some time.
Tony Hutchinson, he grew up on a farm near Bordertown, and he was about 10 when he used to pull the radio apart. But then he got into amateur radio, and from amateur radio he became involved in different space schemes, and he was the one who kept Andy Thomas in contact with his family, and they became quite good friends.
How are you getting on? Are you quite used to it?
He was responsible for,
yes, that's the way
on more than one occasion, for linking me up with Andrew from the front lawn. And talking face to face as he passed over.
Adrian Thomas, father of the famous Adelaide astronaut, says he owes a debt of gratitude to Tony, who always managed to keep the phone lines open during his son's voyages through space.
I'm very glad to have had it. It would have been very different if I was just sitting here on my own with no link at all to what was happening.
When a fire broke out on the Russian space station Mir, it wasn't NASA's communications, but Tony's, providing the much-needed reassurance to the Thomas family that Andy was in no danger.
It's something I wouldn't like to go through again, and I really must say that the help of Tony Hutchinson was absolutely wonderful.
With the space station and everything else.
These days, the 68-year-old is supposed to be retired. And considering he's been repeatedly knocked back by the state and federal governments for any financial support, Tony can barely afford to keep up with ongoing costs.
I estimate it costs me personally about $4,000 to $5,000 a year.
Who covers the electricity bill?
I do.
But nothing can stop this space ace from doing what he loves. And lately he devotes much of his spare time in the classroom, offering South Aussie students a rare chance to talk to astronauts on board the International Space Station.
That must give them a real buzz.
It does. It's any school in the world can apply. It's a waiting list at the moment, unfortunately, of around 18 months because it's so popular. It's only a matter of filling out an application.
Andy Thomas may yet have a part to play in NASA's next major project, a base on the moon. And you can be sure Tony will be facilitating wherever possible.
Fancy a trip to the moon yourself?
That's a long way. I think I'd be in it, yeah. I've experienced most things in life and, yeah, if the chance came up, I think I'd be there.
He may be unrecognised and largely unsung, but Tony Hutchison's efforts have certainly not gone unnoticed by NASA, treating him, just like his astronaut friends, as a bit of a hero.
I got an award from NASA the other day for the engineering work that I've put in over the years, which I had no idea was coming, but it was quite a thrill.
Does it make you proud to think, you know, you played this pivotal role in connecting so many people?
Yeah, I suppose, yes.
Any regrets?
No regrets at all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station VK5ZAI in Australia, operated by Tony Hutchison, contacted Barbara Morgan, KD5VNP, aboard the International Space Station.
VK5DJ in the group, VK5ZAI.
Today we are travelling along Mountain Highway to an altitude of 526 metres above sea level. Our destination is Sherbrooke Community School, located in the township of Sassafras. Sassafras has a population of 1,500 and is located in the Dandenong Ranges, about 40 kilometres east of Melbourne, the capital of BK3. Students from the school are to have a contact with astronaut Robert Thirsk aboard the International Space Station as it passes overhead. The ISS travels at a speed of 28,000 kilometres per hour, 17,500 miles per hour, and the contact is expected to last for just over 9 minutes. A total of 12 students will participate in the experiment, and the school, along with the amateur community, are very pleased that 7 of the students hold an Australian Foundation licence. Students have prepared 20 questions, 2 of which will be asked on behalf of their sister schools in Bhutan and China.
JD, sorry, and Delta, Foxtrot Delta, Juliet Delta.
Now, what do you mean by foundation form?
It's probably most equivalent to the technician licence, though it does give a fair bit of HF privileges, though with power limitations.
Okay, thank you. You've never seen the group of it.
There were plenty of special guests invited to attend. Jeff, VK3AFA, Secretary of the Wireless Institute of Australia, and Director Robert, VK3DN, were pleased to be part of this historic event.
Going towards buying some new amateur radio equipment and facilities for training here in the school. And it's my pleasure to give you this check. Thank you very much.
Making sure the contact went smoothly were teacher Denise, VK3FDJD, and Ivy, VK3IVY. Assisting on behalf of ARIS, Amateur Radio on the International Space Station, were Tony, VK5ZAI, in Southeast South Australia, and operating W6SRJ were Herb, K6QXB, and Bill, KH6GJV. Audio from the contact was uploaded to the internet by John, AG9D, using the Echolink network.
Quite close to the National Park, and we're surrounded by a beautiful schoolyard full of native trees, and we've got chooks and peacocks and sheep, and veggie patches, so it's a little bit of a farm atmosphere up here. We're about 40 kilometres east of Melbourne, and we have approximately 140 students with 20 staff from P to 12. That's from probably the age of 5 till 18 or 19. So we have a huge range of students.
Anyone at that? Anyone at that? W6SRJ.
W6SRJ, this is NA1FS. I have you loud and clear, Tony.
You are loud and clear, and we'll turn you right over to the school. Go ahead, Sherbrooke.
Hi, my name is Christopher, VK3FL18. How do you neutralise the static charge when a spacecraft docks with the ISS? Over.
Good morning, Sherbrooke Community School. Good morning, Christopher. Static charge is an issue on board the space station because of the solar rays, which generate a large amount of voltage. However, when spacecraft docks to the ISS, we take no measures for neutralizing the charge. It's not a big issue for docking spacecraft. However, it is a big issue for EVA or spacewalking astronauts. On board the station, we have plasma contactor units which emit a stream of electrons out into space. That helps to neutralize the charge. Over.
Hi, my name is Callum, VK3FSDP. What is the crew working on at the moment? Over.
Morning, Callum. The main task we're working on right now is loading up the HTV, or the Japanese cargo vehicle, with trash. It docked to the station about 1 month ago, providing us with new supplies and cargo and spare parts and food. Now it's getting ready to go home. It will burn up in the atmosphere on the way home, so we're loading it up with our trash. Over.
Hi, my name is Eleanor. What do you do with the suit from the ISS? Over.
Good morning, Eleanor. For the solid waste, we load it up into our cargo vehicles that are about to leave, and it will burn up in the atmosphere. For our liquid waste, such as urine, we recycle it into pure drinking water. Over.
Hi, my name is Monique, VK3FWPZ. What does it feel like to leave the Earth's atmosphere, both physically and emotionally? Over.
Hi, Monique. That's a very good question. Physically, it feels like I'm in an elevator that's moving very fast. I feel a pressure in my back during the launch, as well as a lot of noise and vibration. Emotionally, it feels like a surreal experience. Living in space, I'm able to fly around like Superman. Everything is weightless. It seems like the rules are different up here. So it seems like a surreal experience, as though I'm in a Salvador Dali painting. Over.
Hi, my name is Ellen, VK3FERP. Has being on the station changed the way you feel about the Earth? Over.
Morning, Emma. I think that all astronauts are environmentalists, but you cannot do a space flight and not become more concerned about the fragile environment around the Earth. We see up here how very thin our atmosphere is around the Earth. We can also, unfortunately, see some of the damage that human beings have enacted upon the Earth. So I think I'm more of an environmentalist today than I was before. Over.
Hi, my name is Sam, VK3FSAN. How much more efficient are solar panels out in space? Over.
Morning, Sam. Solar panels are no more efficient in space than they are on Earth. However, we are up above the Earth's atmosphere, where the amount of solar incidence is greater than it would be on the Earth's surface. I believe that there's over 1,000 watts per meter squared of solar radiation up here. So therefore, the solar rays can put out more power than they could on Earth, simply because we're up above the atmosphere. Over.
Hi, my name is James, VK3FJN. How does space look like outside the Earth's atmosphere? Over.
Hi, James. Well, if you look up outside of your school today, you'll see that the sky is very blue. Up here in space, the sky is incredibly black. There is no blacker black than the sky that we have here in space. When we look down at the Earth, we can see the sky, but just a very, very thin rim around the Earth. So, for instance, if you were to model the size of the Earth as a basketball, then we would just have 1 or 2 wraps of tissue around that basketball that would represent the thickness of our sky. Over.
Hi, my name is John. Do astronauts feel more like a member of planet Earth rather than a member of their nation after their ISS experience? Over.
Hi, John. I think the answer is yes. I'm Canadian, and certainly some of the issues that we're facing in Canada are important to me. But, you know, up here we orbit the Earth once every 90 minutes, and we see almost the entire Earth after a 24-hour period of time. Also, my crew members come from other countries, such as Russia, the United States, and Belgium. So during dinner time, we often talk about issues that are concern their countries. And therefore, I become more sensitized to global issues like poverty, overpopulation, and environmental damage, as well as the issues in these other countries. So I do feel more like a member of planet Earth. Over.
Hi, my name is Oscar, BK3FOSC. Do you regularly talk with radio amateurs from around the world outside of the organised ARIS arrangement? Over.
Hi, Oscar. Unfortunately, no. I don't have a lot of time up here. I have talked with radio amateurs around the world, but it's usually on an infrequent basis when I have a few moments of free time here or there. They keep our days pretty busy here. We wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The workday starts at 8 in the morning, and then we don't usually finish our workday until 7 o'clock at night. We try to get to bed by 9:30 or 10, so that doesn't leave us a whole lot of time to talk with radio amateurs around the world. Over.
Hi, my name is Johnny. What happens when a person vomits in space? Over.
Hi, Johnny. That's a really good question because you certainly recognize that there are certain issues that arise up here in a weightless environment. Astronauts sometimes get motion sick for the first 2 or 3 days of spaceflight, and in the worst cases, vomiting can be a symptom. If we're not prepared, then we can create a real mess in the spacecraft. But everyone is aware that during the first 2 or 3 days of spaceflight, we may not be feeling very well, and we always have a vomit bag nearby just in case. We do all we can to make sure that the vomit goes into the bag, and there's always a towel nearby if we make a mistake. Over.
Hi, my name is Christopher. What type of electric lights do you use to illuminate the interior of the ISS? Over.
Hi, Christopher. We use primarily fluorescent lights. These have been used for many years. I notice, however, that we're starting to transition to LEDs, which take less power and also provide a very bright light as well. So primarily fluorescent lights, but I see us transitioning to LEDs. Over.
Hi, my name is Callum. Our sister school in Bhutan has asked, can you see the snow of the Himalayas from the ISS? Over.
Hi, Callum. You can tell your sister school in Bhutan that we can very easily see the snow of the Himalayas. So we can see the glaciers as well. I think looking down on mountain ranges is one of the favorite things for astronauts when we do have free time and can look out the window. And it's not just the Himalayas, but also the other mountainous areas in Europe, the Alps, the Rockies in the United States and Canada. Over.
Hi, my name is Rachel. What is your food like? Over.
Hi, Rachel. Unfortunately, we don't have a fridge or a freezer on board the space station. Therefore, we eat primarily processed food, such as thermal-stabilized food or freeze-dried food, something that you might use on a wilderness camping trip. When a cargo vehicle or a space shuttle has just arrived, often we'll get some fresh food that will last for 2 or 3 days, such as apples or oranges. Over.
Hi, my name is Monique. Do you have night and day? Over.
Hi, Monique. Yes, we do. However, our nights and days are shorter than yours. We orbit the Earth once every 90 minutes, and therefore, roughly, we have 45 minutes of nighttime followed by 45 minutes of day. This occurs 16 times a day. Over.
Hi, my name is Emma. When they show the ISS on TV, I can't see the stars in space. Can you see the stars and other planets outside the window of the ISS? Over.
Hi, Emma. Yes, we can, but it's only during the nighttime passes of our orbit. During a daytime pass, the brightness of the Earth and other parts of the space station cause our eyes not to accommodate and see the stars. But at nighttime, we can see the stars brilliantly. They do not twinkle. They're a little bit brighter than on Earth. Over.
Hi, my name is Sam. This is a question from our sister school in China. What do you miss most when you're out there in space? Over.
Hi, Sam. I've missed my family the most. 6 months is a long time to spend in space, and there's many family events that I have not been able to share in during that period of time. After my family, I miss nature. So I miss the wind on my face. I miss the smell of a newly cut lawn. I miss the sound of waterfalls. I'm looking forward to returning to nature. Over.
Hi, my name is James. Do you believe that there is life on other planets within and outside our solar system? Over.
Hi,
we're losing him. Go.
Hi, my name is John. Do you have to wear protective gear to protect your eyes from the sun while you're in ISS? Over.
No, we've lost him. Dave, I think we've lost him. A big array for Robert, if you all would.
Okay, here we are at the very front end of the International Space Station. This is the forward end of Node 2, and this is right behind this hatch is the PMA, the pressurized mating adapter, to which the space shuttle docks whenever the next space shuttle comes. You can see we have our flags up here at the most forward part. It's a 15-nation partnership, this International Space Station. So we'll start with the Node 2. We will stop at the Kibo module here, the Japanese pressurized module, and the Japanese logistics platform. We'll stop back there in a second. We'll take a look in the Columbus module, pride of the European Space Agency, and our pride too. And then you can look down the stack, and you can see several other modules, and even into a little bit into the functional cargo block, the FGB, and then the service module. So it's a really big space station that we got. Welcome to Kibo. Please enjoy and relax in this brand new, the most spacious and quietest room in the ISS. You can see here, this is the SIBO rack, which is for cell biology. And then we have a fluid rack, Urutai. So these are the two main Japanese science racks that are up here now. There's more that are coming. Let's take a quick look out the window before it gets dark outside. We're going around the world every 90 minutes, so we get to see a lot of sunrises and sunsets. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful out there. So this is looking out the port side of the space station, and we're actually also on the front side, so front port side of the space station. And let's take a look what we can see out there. We can see the robot arm I was talking about, the GEM RMS. Those orange things are the solar arrays on the port side. And you can see we have a full set, and 15A STS-119 is going to be bringing up the last solar array on the starboard side. And take a look, there's our beautiful blue planet there. And looking at this and where we are, I'd say we're over the South Indian Ocean. You can actually see some icebergs down there, so we're actually probably between Africa and Antarctica. You can actually see the different shades of the blue water. Okay, so now fly with me. We're going to go to the Columbus module. here we are in the Columbus module. You can see it's also spacious. It's also cluttered because it's a great place to store things or temporarily stow them. It's not going to be this way forever. We're going to have it nice and clean pretty soon. We're flying back to Node 2. We'll take a quick look what else we have here. We have my work area. It's a little bit cluttered right now, but this is kind of my desk. It doesn't sit out horizontally, but it has everything I need on it. These are my crew quarters right here. You can tell, has my name on it. And in fact, I can give you a tour real quick of crew quarters. This is what it looks like inside. There's a fair amount of room. We'll get the, has a standard space station light on it. So now we're going into the Destiny Laboratory, headed aft on the space station. And there's my crewmate, Sandy Magnus. She's getting her exercise in for today. This rack is the oxygen generation system, and we have a few too many things on this rack, and we're in the middle of cleaning it off, not to interfere, but you can see oxygen, we're making oxygen, and when we make oxygen, we're breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen, and the oxygen comes right out here. The water we're making either comes from the condensate from the air conditioning system, you know, the water that's in the air, or urine. So this is a really neat regenerative life support system. And now we're going to go back into one of the first modules, Node 1, which is also called Unity. This is our pond, our wall of water that's down here. We have different kinds of water, and these are called contingency water containers, CWCs. And you can see different kinds. There's water that you can drink and water that you can use for other things like flush water or generating oxygen. Now here's the airlock. As we go, the Quest airlock. This crew lock is a hatch that goes outside into space. So you can see that hatch right there. In the meantime, we're kind of storing EVA related things here. You can see this is a safer, which is a kind of a jet backpack that we wear on the outside of our spacesuits in case we get separated from the spaceship. We can fly our way back in. I remember being at Capcom on STS-96 when I first saw these signs. That's pretty amazing. And we're floating into the Russian side of things. First and foremost, we are now in the pressurized adapter part of the functional cargo block. We call it the GA, and it's also a docking port down below. As you carefully look down below, you can see the hatches, and inside what you can see in front of us is the docking mechanism for the Soyuz. Not a lot of room. Makes it very efficient. Now Yuri's been busy unloading the Progress. We just finished an EVA, so things here in the functional cargo block are very functional right now and very cargo-y. So you can see things are just really, really full here in the FGB. As we leave the FGB here, and go into the docking compartment. Docking compartment is another one of those vertical looks, and it's a kind of a misnomer. It's not just docking compartment, but it's also a airlock. So Yuri and I went out in these two spacesuits a few weeks ago and went into open space and had a spacewalk. Continuing on down through here, we'll stop here on the way back, is our Progress cargo vehicle. The Progress is a cargo ship, unmanned, uncrewed, nobody driving, and has the same kind of docking compartment. It's very much based on the Soyuz design, except it doesn't have any re-entry capability. And we're going to take a look outside. And this is the hatch that I opened up and went outside for a spacewalk, and we're looking aft on the space station. There's a ladder some solar panels. We're looking at the service module. Zarya, Zvezda. And looking at our beautiful planet Earth. Let's see if we can get a nice little view here of Earth. A little small treat. There's no tour of the space station would be complete without it. Last but not least, in the service module, Zvezda, which means star, it's the heart of the space station. It's where we used to have the only place where we could create oxygen and live with the carbon dioxide removal system, as well as a place to eat and sleep. There's my crewmate, Yuri Lonchakov, exercising on the treadmill with vibration isolation system, the TVIS. So this is our eating area. There's our table. And we're just getting ready for lunch. There's our water dispenser right there, Russian style. And our controller for the water dispenser. There's Yuri's room off to the side. You can see he has a sleeping bag right there hanging on the wall, and a computer right here so he can call on the telephone, and write email, and read books. And relax in the evenings a little bit, because we have long days up here. This is a surprise visit that you guys are paying on us today. So things aren't cleaned up, but they're real. This is exactly how we work and live in space. And that'll wrap up the tour. This is the International Space Station. A very good example of what human beings can do when we work closely together.
The Orion spacecraft is America's next manned spacecraft. So the vehicle is going to be capable of low Earth orbit operations and also capable of going beyond low Earth orbit. This new spacecraft design takes advantage of being able to do both. It's a very flexible design.
Orion serves a need for space station. It brings crews back and forth. It brings supplies, some supplies back and forth, some critical things with it. But the missions to space stations serve a big purpose for Orion as well. It's you don't want to take the new car out on the long duration road trip the first time out. So from a strictly Orion perspective, we get a lot of benefit from these near Earth, low Earth orbit missions to try out the spacecraft. When we go to a station, virtually all the functions that we need on lunar for Orion will be exercised. You need power generation, you need thermal control, obviously all the avionics, you need rendezvous and docking, which are critical obviously for a lunar mission where you're sending a module to the surface and then having to rejoin with it when it returns. So virtually every system that has to be used for lunar is used during those low Earth orbit missions.
Partnership. Learning how to fly in space. The view is incredible. We are the experiment.
are the experiment.
Riding on a spaceship.
The view is incredible. Learning how to fly in space.
International partnership